Hi, my name is Jennifer Courtney and welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I'm going to be making for you some salsa lettuce chicken wraps. And so I just want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching the demonstration. Hopefully I'll teach you some cool tips and some tricks and things that you can do while I show you some really awesome Pampered Chef products. So let's get started. First of all, we need to get our chicken ready. So I'm just going to grab my chicken out of the fridge. Our chicken breast we have, I love to get our chicken breast at Aldi. Aldi seems to have the best chicken breast for the cheapest amount of price. And I find that typically Aldi's chicken is about $1.49 to $1.99 a pound. So I love to take them and I'll individually freeze them, and then I'll wrap them up and then put them into another freezer bag. So that way, whenever I need the chicken, I can just grab it out. Because if you freeze them all together, then they're all stuck together in one bag. So we have our chicken breast here, and I'm just gonna use my tongs to get the chicken out. And what we're gonna do is slice our chicken breast in half. So this is our closing cut. And as you can see, this is a really large chicken breast. This is probably like a triple D breast, right? And this chicken, you know, that poor chicken was walking around just going, right? So we're gonna cut him in half just so that he'll cook a little more evenly. So with our 8-inch chef's knife, I'm just gonna put my chicken breast inside our closing cut. You can kind of shove him on in. And then you're just gonna close it down, watching your fingers, and then you're just gonna saw back and forth. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna start making chicken breasts that are a little bit more appropriate size. Woo, he's a very slippery guy. All right, so there's our first one, and we can probably slice this again, but I think he's gonna be okay. Those are two about the same size and thickness, maybe not quite the same length, and we're gonna set them aside. All right, so what else can you slice with this? You can put cherry tomatoes in here, you can put grapes in here, and you can slice everything in half all at once. I love our closing cut. So, especially if you're using our grill pan, whenever you slice your chicken breast in half with the grill pan, you're gonna find that typically the grill pan takes about 4 minutes per side. So we call it 4-minute flip chicken. All right, so there's our two chicken breasts again. And we're gonna put this right into our sink. So this guy is dishwasher safe. There we go. And quite handy. All right, so we have our chicken breast out and we have them on our flexible mat. Flexible mat is flexible, so you can coil things right up after you cut them or slice things up. So like it's really great if you're doing grated cheese, because then you can just coil it up and dump it right into a bowl. What we're gonna do is just sprinkle our chicken with some Tex-Mex rub. Tex-Mex is one of my favorites. It's not super spicy. I know if you think of Tex-Mex, a lot of times you think of spicy food, but our Tex-Mex is really sweet. So you can see there, we've got lots of great flavoring on this chicken. All right. And the Tex-Mex is really good to mix with a cup of sour cream and serve with tortilla chips. I put it in my soups. I put it in or on my chicken and stuff whenever I'm making tacos. It's great to put it on a seasoning on just about anything. Like I said, really good with sour cream and really good on mayonnaise too. All right, well, it doesn't want to close. I have a defective lid. There we go. All right, so now that we got our chicken breast all seasoned up, I'm just gonna open up my quick cooker. Mike, you can come around to this side. And our quick cooker, this is actually our pot in a pot. So the quick cooker comes with this guy, and then this guy is an accessory. So like when we're cooking with the quick cooker, we could put beans in the bottom and rice in the top. So we could have 2 cups of rice with 4 cups of water and cooking in the top, while raw beans are cooking in the bottom. And I'm telling you what, raw beans, if you've ever done raw beans, you know that you have to rinse them and soak them, right? You soak them all night long, and then the next day you cook them all day long. Not in the quick cooker. The quick cooker, you rinse them off, you dump them in, you put in your liquid, you hit start, and for most beans, it's like 28 minutes later. All right, so we're gonna put our chicken breast inside of our quick cooker. And the quick cooker comes with a cookbook, and this guy has totally changed everything about how I cook. Put our chicken down in there, because although I really love cooking, This guy will take, and what would take normally hours and hours and hours to get done, you can have things cooked in a fraction of the time. Whole chickens are done in like 30 minutes. Beef roast or tender in just a couple of hours. I'm telling you, this thing is just amazing. So here's what I mean about it being flexible, so you can coil it right up. We're gonna stick these over here. Take away our nasty chicken knife. Ugh. And that cutlery is the bomb too. So this is the booklet that comes with your quick cooker. And the quick cooker first will teach you how to make the salsa chicken, which is what we're making today. Hard-boiled eggs, beans, right? It'll show you how long to cook each one of the beans, how long to cook your rice, your farro, your millet, your couscous, your basmati, your white rice, your oatmeal, your steel-cut oatmeal. You can put it all in there. Then you can also have vegetables, so you can do any kind of vegetable in a matter of moments. And I'll tell you what, in the month of November, I made so many pounds of mashed potatoes. 5 pounds of yellow potatoes. We just wedged them up with a quick cooker, put them in with a cup of water, push start to steam them for 10 minutes. Once they're done, we added in a stick of butter, a half stick of cream cheese, a cup of milk, and 2 tablespoons of salt, and then just mashed it up with our mix and masher. And we had mashed potatoes that stayed perfectly warm, and they were absolutely delicious. No bringing water to a boil, no having to drain, no having to strain. All you had to do was mix it up. All right, and then it will show you all the meat you can do. So whether it's poultry, so you can do chicken, frozen chicken, bone-in chicken, boneless chicken. You can do pork loin, pork roast, pork ribs, right? Beef, frozen beef. You can do ground beef. You can do beef roast, beef chuck, beef ribs, turkey breast. I mean, you name it, you can do everything. And then it just gives you a ton of recipes that you can make as well. So even, look at this, chocolate pudding and cheesecake. You name it, you can do it in the quick cooker. It has 16 different settings. All right, so to it, we're gonna add a couple more things. All right. So we're gonna press in 2 garlic cloves. So this is the garlic press. The garlic press comes with its own little brush, and we're just gonna put the clove inside. So basically you have a bulb of garlic, and then you just break off your cloves. Inside is the skin. Check this out, and all you have to do is chuck it away in the trash. So you don't have to touch the garlic to clean it or to get it out or anything. Garlic is a natural cholesterol inhibitor and a cancer fighter. It's super good for you. All right, so there's our garlic in there. And if you have any pieces that get stuck, you just use Barbie's hairbrush to poke it back out. And then you can scoop it right again into the trash can. There's nothing like fresh garlic, and then it just goes back into the handle. To it also, we're gonna add in some, there we go, salsa. Because it wouldn't be salsa chicken lettuce wraps without salsa. So we have our salsa, and we just need a cup of salsa. So these are our easy read measure cups, and you're gonna notice that I'm gonna pour in the salsa, and I'm never gonna have to do squats in order to measure liquids, right? So there is no assuming the position. You know what assuming the position is, right? When you're like this. Is that a cup? All right, you don't have to. All you have to do is look down, pour in. These are dishwasher and microwave safe. They nest together for storage, and they have measurement markings all up the side. Milliliters, cups, and ounces. You're gonna use these a lot. All right, to that, we're gonna add some jalapeno. So you always wanna be super careful when you're messing with jalapeno peppers because you don't wanna touch your eyes. And we're just gonna use the teeth part of our core and more, and we're just gonna pull out all of these seeds. The seeds is where the heat is. There we go. So if you pull these out, it won't be quite so hot. All right. And then we'll pull out the seeds out of this one too as well. Now these would be really fun to fill up with some sort of cream cheese mixture. And you could do little jalapeno poppers. There's all sorts of ways to make them really light on our stoneware. And I remember making them when I very first started my business. Oh my gosh, that was years ago. I've been selling for 19 years. I can't even believe that sometimes. But jalapeno poppers is one of the first things I used to make. All right, so we're just gonna give these a coarse chop, and we're gonna add them into our manual food processor. All right, so it just pops up. You just want to do the jalapeno jalapeno first, because you want to make sure it gets chopped up really well, because we're also going to add some onion. All right, so we're going to use our 5-inch Sansuko to take off the tops and the bottoms of the onion. And then we're going to veggie wedge. All right, so the veggie wedger wedges things right up into 6 wedges. So you can use this on citrus fruit. You can use this on a tomato, a bell pepper, a zucchini, a cucumber, large strawberries, mushrooms, and wedge things right up super fast. We're just getting our onion wedged up because we want to go into the manual food processor. All right. So we'll get our onion in there. Set him down straight. So you just basically want to chop by how bad a day you're having. So pretty good day, coarsely chopped. Little worse day, little more chopped. Really bad day, onion soup. All right, so we just want them kind of coarsely chopped. So we're just going to take our mix and scraper. This is our mini mix and scraper. And we're just going to scrape this off in here. And then if this were guacamole or salsa, we could actually serve it right out of our bowl. It has a grippy guy on the bottom to keep him from sliding around as you're using it. It has measurement markings on the side, goes up to 3 cups. And this guy is actually made because look at that. He goes right down in between each one of these little layers. So they're actually made to go together. He's a perfect accompaniment. And those little grooves on the side are actually meant to help catch the food as the blade's coming around it so that the blade will be able to chop through it. All right, so we'll get out as much as we can. There we go. And now we've got that all in there ready to go. So come around to this side, Mr. Courtney. So we're just gonna put the lid on of the quick cooker. I think it sounds like R2-D2, all right? And so then we're just gonna switch it over to chicken, poultry. All right, and we're gonna hit start. So on the top here, Mike will show them. Yep, there we go. This is those steam release valves. So you wanna make sure this is flush and you wanna make sure this is pointing the same direction with this little cloud. So you want them in the same direction. So with the quick cooker, let me turn it around this way. What you're gonna notice is it has 16 different settings. So you can just set it to whatever you wanna do. You can steam, it replaces your pasta cooker, it replaces your rice cooker, it replaces your slow cooker, it replaces your steamer, and you can sear in here too. So you can set it to sear and you could sear up your meat or beef or whatever before you do like your roast or your, any kind of meat or something like that. If you wanna get that nice little sear on the outside and get the edges crispy, you can do that with the sear. So again, it proofs bread. It just does everything. It replaces so many items in your kitchen, and it's done super fast. All the month of January of 2019, I made a Tuscan hearty soup, and it tastes like I cooked it for hours, and I only cooked it for 5 minutes. It was crazy. All of that flavor gets infused in there because it's under pressure. There's a lot of people who are scared of pressure cookers. I was one of them. But the more I use it, the more I realize you turn it on, you push the button, you hit start, and it's done. When the timer's done, it can release one of 2 ways. You can push the button to manually release, or if you leave it alone, it will automatically release. This little button here, this little red guy, he will pop up when it comes to pressure, and he's the only part that gets hot on the whole thing. Some other pressure cookers we know get hot around the top. This one will not. We gave you handles on the bottom so you could transport it really easily. And again, this pressure guy, the steam will shoot out that direction or whichever way you have it pointed. So we're gonna turn it back around. So when it's done, it's gonna shoot out pressure this way. All right, so while that's in there, let's do a couple of toppings and we'll finish this up real quick. All right, so when the chicken comes out, I'm just gonna use my large tongs to get the chicken out of there because it'll be deeper. So normally I would use my long tongs whenever I'm messing with the chicken because they're really big, so our large chef's tongs do that nice. But I know that I'm gonna have to get in there and get that chicken out in a moment. And then once it's done, then we're gonna shred it up with our salad choppers. I think they should call these chicken choppers because you're just gonna hold onto your bowl and you're just gonna shred up all of your meat. Inside here, I use it more on chicken than I use it on anything else. So we're gonna set those 2 guys aside. All right. So our toppings, while that's going, let's just scoop this guy over. So we have our cool and serve going here. The cool and serve, all right. The base actually, or the top will fit back into the base, which is nice. And I have our lettuce already going. This is bib lettuce. Some people call it butter lettuce. And it's a really nice lettuce that you can use as a cup for your dish. So if anytime you're doing lettuce wraps, you're probably gonna see that it's in a bib lettuce. It's easiest to find that in this area of town at Meijer, but I did find that at Walmart. So With our cool and serve, you have a flat side on one side and you have deviled egg on the other. So this will hold 12 deviled eggs, or you can flip it over and you can have your little inserts here. Or you can do all deviled egg because there's deviled eggs on both sides. These guys are not filled with liquid, they're filled with a solid gel, so when you freeze them, you can freeze them in any direction area, sideways, upside down, it doesn't matter, they'll freeze solid, all right? You can take all the pieces out, all right, and you can transport cookies, brownies, cupcakes, muffins, whatever, because this is just a nice base, okay? So this guy, he gets a lot of use all year long. It doesn't matter what season it is, because anytime you're entertaining, you probably have a dish that you want to keep cold. All right, we also have an open tray for this, and we also have a 5-section tray right now. I think they're discontinuing the 5-section. So we have our toppings in there. So let's do up our tomato, shall we? So just like we used that top on the jalapeno a while ago, the core also works to take out the insides of our tomatoes. All right, and so we could use the veggie wedger on this, but I'm just gonna cut him in half, and then I'm gonna dice him up. All right, so if you slice up the side, and then come back down here and with your point, come back down, then insert it on his side, then you can make diced tomato. All right, when you get down to this last little guy, flipping like so, use the piercing tip to pull through the tomato. The piercing tip on the blade of the knife, you just want to put him down at like a 45-degree angle. So let's just do that again. I love our cutlery. All of our cutlery is lifetime guaranteed. And it's blade from tip to tip. All right, so this is a Paco wood handle, 3 strong rivets, blade from tip to tip. I didn't quite get him diced. And then what you're gonna notice is that most of the time whenever you're using it, you're gonna pinch and wrap. That'll keep the blade perfectly balanced in your hand. And then we're just gonna put some of the tomatoes here and here. All of our cutlery is lifetime guaranteed. You do want to regularly sharpen it. We have a honing tool that we sell that is set for the blades of our knife with the perfect edge on it. And that way it keeps it really sharp all the time, and then you don't have to worry about ever having a dull knife. And when you have a dull knife, that's whenever you tend to start going like this, and that's when you lose a finger. No bueno, all right? Let me get my paper towel. Then we're gonna slice up some green onion as well. And this is the great thing about our large groove cutting board, is you can just continue to push everything over to the side. That 1-inch groove will hold 3/4 cup of liquid. And we're just gonna slice up some green onions here to go on top. So these are all of our toppings for our salsa chicken lettuce wraps. So the pressure cooker will take a few moments to come to pressure. And so when he's doing that, you'll can see him just go around in circles, beep, 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 beep. But Mike, show him how the steam's starting to come through. So that steam coming out of that little hole means he's getting pretty close. All right, that's always a good indicator to let you know that he's getting ready. All right, then you just heard a little snap, that means he's getting even closer. All right, so here is our cilantro. I'm just gonna give him a coarse chop too. You know, cilantro is a nice dark green leafy, super flavorful. And you're gonna love adding it to this dish. Look how pretty this is getting. All right. And then with our radishes, we're gonna use our simple slicer. So I'm just gonna put him on level 2. All right, so there's 3 different levels. There's blade guard, so that you don't slice your finger. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So the blade just gets a little bit thicker slice each time. So I'm just gonna put my little radishes down. I don't know, we might only be able to do 2 at a time on this one. And then we're just gonna slice them up. So this is perfect for making any kind of quick, thin slices of, zucchini or cucumber, onion, tomatoes, bell peppers. Just put them on there, push down with your fingers. Look at that. What I love about this the most is I'm a sliver slice piece chunk kind of girl. So every time I'm slicing, I would have so many different thicknesses, it would just be ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna put in our radishes. Now, a lot of people aren't radish fans, but they give it a really nice crunch and texture in the lettuce wrap, so you can decide if you like it or not. All right, so let's move over here. Because what would a wrap be without some cheese? So bar cheese versus bag cheese. First of all, your bar cheese has about 4 ingredients in it. Your bag cheese has about 10. All those extra ingredients are preservatives to make it nice and flaky in the bag. When you can grate your own cheese and you can grate it this fast, people tell me all the time, oh, it just takes so long to grate the cheese, all right? I beg to differ. And again, your bar cheese doesn't have all those extra ingredients in it like your bag cheese does. So this guy does come with a holder, but I find that if you can get it started and then finish up with your little chunks, then you're gonna know whenever it's time to stop, because you're gonna think, I wonder if I'm getting too close. At that point, you are, right? So then just like our holder on our slicer there, we have tines on here for our cheese, and we can just stick this all back in here and finish it off. Now Monterey Jack cheese or Colby Jack cheese, Jack is a really soft cheese, all right? So if we were to use it the whole time with the grater guy, it would just do this, all right? So I really like to just start it off manually. And then he comes apart real easy for dishwasher cleaning. All right. So again, because we're on the flexible mat, all we have to do now is coil it up. And then we can dump it right into our last little section for our cool and serve. Ta-da! All right. And doesn't that just look beautiful? So you can imagine you can have all your summertime vegetables, you know, for different gatherings. So you could have dips here, you could have all sorts of vegetables on either side. Again, you could use it for all sorts of things. So I love, love, love the cool and serve. All right, so our cheese is all grated. So our toppings are ready to go. Looks like our chicken, he's getting super close. You can see all that little steam coming up. He's gonna pop up. So again, once he gets done, that will pop up, and then the chicken will only take 15 minutes to cook, and then we'll shred it up, and then we'll add it to our dish, okay? So, so that's some really cool products that we have going on for you guys, just to kind of see a live presentation. I can hear him, he's getting so close, he's gonna pop up any second. But so what I'll do is once the chicken is ready for me to chop up, I'll go live again and show you what the shredded chicken looks like. And if you have any questions at any time, just make sure to comment and tag me and say, hey Jennifer, tell me a little bit more about the whatever. And as we're done, I'll come back and I'll comment on each one. So oh, I so want that to be live. Oh, he's thinking about it. He's getting ready. I just saw him move. As soon as we go unlive, he's gonna pop up, and then I'll be like, oh, dang it. Look at him, you can do it. I feel like well, I'm feeling a little silly. But as soon as we go off live, he's gonna pop up. Oh well. So have a great rest of your evening. Like I said, once it goes, finishes cooking, then I'll come back and go live again. And then again, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, thank you so much.